We put together such a good bang for buck gaming and streaming setup where you can do everything that you could possibly need to for 1,600 bucks.
And our friends at Fifine sponsored this video to showcase their mic and mic arm combo, their mixer, and their stream controller to showcase that they're the awesome option for budget live streaming, and this whole setup is built around their products in mind. So thanks again to Fifine for sponsoring this video. We also got their headset here, by the way, I forgot about this. We got a bunch of cool tech we want to show you guys, and we have a gaming PC we just finished doing a video on where we tested the best budget GPU for live streaming and determined for the price, the AMD option was actually the better bang for buck. So let's talk about that PC real quick for those who missed the video, and then we'll dive into the rest of the setup to show you guys what we got for 1,600 bucks.
So this right here is the gaming PC that we actually just did a video on where we tested the 5060 versus the 9060 XT. And like Matt said, the 9060 XT just ever so slightly pulls forwards in terms of FPS. So what we have in here is the 9600X, which is a 6-core 12 thread. They're about $195-ish. They're one of the best bang for buck CPUs, especially for like 1080p and 1440p live streaming. And to cool that CPU, we have the ID Cooling SC214 XT in AirGB, $17 for a very nice tower air cooler. That's plenty for the 6-core 12 thread. Now for 150 bucks, we got the ASRock B650M Pro X3D, which is a micro ATX board. You can really pick out any micro ATX board for this CPU as long as it's a B650 or a B850. Now the fun part, RAM, we got Crucial Pro 32 gigs, which they may not even be making anymore, but 5600 megahertz, it's a dual channel kit, and we're looking at around $320 to $360, I'd say at the time of filming. It may keep going up, but it is plenty for streaming. There are 16 gig kits that are more obtainable, and from our testing, you can get away with it for 1080p live streaming. There just may be some times where you might get a little bit of stuttering. Now for storage, coming in around 80 to 90 bucks, we got the Team Group T-Force G50 1TB Gen 4. You can just get away with having just this one Gen 4 with Windows installed and your games. It's gonna run perfectly smooth. You're never gonna max that Gen 4 drive out. Now to power this build for about 50 bucks, the Roswell VSB 650 by 80 plus bronze. Awesome power supply that is ATX 3.1, semi-modular. It's a really cool unit and it's actually fairly well rated. And then this is all inside of the Thermaltake View 170 TG with AirGB fan. It comes with 3 of these fans installed. It's about 70 bucks, and it's really not a bad case to build. You got a couple of quirks like the 24 pin having to run through there, but honestly, if you know how to build like us, you can make it look pretty darn good. So that is the PC. Now, let's start talking about the rest of the setup.
All right, guys, we're gonna start with all the rest of the parts of the setup. There's a lot, so bear with me. First up, we have a 27-inch 1080p 180Hz curved monitor from ViewEdge, which we actually did a full video on this monitor if you want to see more gameplay on it, but this monitor is now around $105. At the time of playing the video, it was on Black Friday stuff for about 95 bucks, only a $10 increase in price, but really for a streaming setup, it doesn't have to be this exact monitor. You really want to look for something that is 1080p at this price range because you can get away with 1440p, but live streaming can be pretty demanding, especially if you're gaming at 1440p and streaming at the same time. So we still recommend 1080p for very smooth streams. It's a sacrifice you should be willing to make if you want the best quality streams, in my opinion, without any lag. And this 27-inch 1080p display is solid. Now, if you're okay with a smaller display, can go that route as well, but I really think this looks very nice. We're very happy with this monitor for the price, and it's 180Hz, so it's gonna be buttery smooth. Now, the only thing I didn't like about this monitor is it didn't come with a monitor stand. So as you guys might be able to see, and Jen will have a B-roll clip or show you guys right here, we have this Wano monitor arm, which is a single monitor arm you could buy on Amazon for around $32. Really cheap actually, and you can really improve your overall setup because with the monitor stand this did come with, it was incredibly wobbly, and with the secondary monitor I have here, which we'll talk about in a second, it was blocked because I couldn't height adjust the monitor. So definitely invest in this monitor arm. It's gonna be a good investment overall. Now for our secondary monitor, this is a hack that I've been doing a lot with some of these setups, is getting a portable monitor for a secondary monitor for streaming setups, or really any setup you wanna do. This one right here comes in at $39.99 and is a 1080p 15.6-inch portable monitor. And why I like this one so much is it has a built-in little kickstand, which allows you to very easily prop it underneath a monitor. And if you have this raised up properly, it is the perfect viewing distance for looking down at OBS and chat. I think these are really good, and it's way cheaper than buying just another monitor. Now, obviously 2 normal monitors would be more ideal, but we're trying to save some money in certain areas. $39.99 just for looking at OBS and chat, you really can't complain about that. Now we're gonna go ahead and dive into the keyboard, mouse, and mouse pad, then go into the streaming gear because that's gonna have a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. But we have the F75 Pro from Aula on the desk right here. This thing right here is one of our favorites here at ToastyBros HQ. It comes with a very cool gradient gray aesthetic, very nice Reaper sounding switches. Let me go ahead and type on this real quick, guys. Sounds absolutely beautiful. And again, it's not a full-size keyboard. It doesn't take up a bunch of space on your desk. When you're live streaming, you got a bunch of gear on there. You definitely want to go with this option. And coming in at $63, pretty good value for the money. You could definitely cheap out on this even more if you want to. You could get like a Hall effect keyboard for around 30 to 40 bucks if you prefer that. But I really like the sound of this keyboard, and I personally would use this one over a Hall effect because I just don't take advantage of Hall effect features much like other gamers. But if you're a really good gamer, get a Hall effect keyboard. That's another option I would suggest you go with, and there's a lot of options at less money. Now this is kind of a go-to for gaming setups here at the ToastyBros. This is the Red Dragon M916 Standard Edition, which means it only has a 1000 hertz polling rate. There is one that's all the way up to 8K, which you can get, but it is more expensive. This was $15. It's a lightweight mouse. I believe it's 49 grams. It doesn't have any holes in it, so it's a very basic mouse overall, but it's pretty lightweight, it's wireless, and it's $15. I mean, that's a really good price for an actual good gaming mouse, and you really can't complain about that. I really like this mouse for gaming setups. I think it competes very nicely with some higher end mice at the $30 to $40 range for the average gamer who doesn't care about the polling rate of their mouse. And for the mouse pad, we just went very basic here. This is a standard mouse pad that you can pick up on Amazon for around $11. Black extended mouse pad. You can spend more money, you can spend less money, but really I just wanted something that'll work well with our mouse. And again, even then you can see this is a pretty cheap mouse pad because we're already having some fraying on the edge here. So if you don't want a mouse pad that frays though, go to PCBros.tech. We got an awesome XL mouse pad that looks absolutely beautiful and will really light up your setup, really light up the runway with that one. Now let's start with the Fifine products. First up, we have their headset, the H13, which is this nice over-ear gaming headset with the smiley RGB. This is like Fifine staple. You see this on their headset all the time, but this is really cool headset because you do have a detachable mic, which I do not have plugged in right now because we're not going to be using it. We have a standalone mic, definitely the way to go for live streaming, and it's quite comfortable. So, but over here, it's definitely an over-the-ear headphone style. It's not going to sit on your ear, which I do prefer for over-the-ear headphones. I don't really like that style that just rests on top of your ear. You got RGB all the way around, which can be controlled with their Genie software, which we will show you guys in here in just a minute because we did control the RGB of a bunch of stuff in this setup, and it's a quality headset. I mean, that was really quiet. You can change the RGB on the fly with this button right here as well, and it is a USB headset, so it's not going to have the auxiliary options, which I think is kind of a bummer because I really like to have an auxiliary option to plug into their mixer, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. So a little bit of a downside there, but it is a pretty solid headset coming in at $46. Can't really complain too much about that. Now for the mixer, we have their SC8 mixer coming in at $64.99. Now, for those who don't know what a mixer really is, well, one, this mixer is going to power our XLR microphone, which we'll talk about here in a second. But secondly, it allows you to control multiple audio inputs and then route it into your PC. So for example, with this mixer, we have our XLR input, but then also you can do an aux in, you can headphone monitor and also put a headset in if you want to. You do have optical in, and you can monitor and control all these different audio sources through one mixer, mix all the audio down and send it into your PC, which can be controlled in your streaming software. This is very nice for those looking to have multiple audio sources and want to be able to control your audio levels on the fly instead of going with an OBS every single time and lowering your mic when it's a little too loud or raising it when it's a little too quiet. You can just go in here and say, you know what, I want my, where is it? Right here. I want my auxiliary to be a little bit higher. You can up that. I want my actual XLR mic to be higher. We can up that. And you can see the audio levels on the fly. You also have a voice changer built in, which we'll be messing with when we do our live streaming test. Always kind of fun. And you can turn off the 48 volt Vanta power if you want it. You want to have that on for this because the mic we have will require the 48 volt Vanta power. And also it does have built-in 7.1 for audio out. So if you do have an auxiliary headset you're plugging in, you can have 7.1 audio stereo sound that can make the gaming experience sound a little bit better. Now coming in at $55, we have this D6 Stream controller, which again, looks very similar to other Stream controllers on the market, I will say. But it is another one of those Stream controllers that allow you to change scenes within OBS. We'll dive into software in just a second to show you guys the other stuff you can do with it, but it's a cool addition to your setup if you want to be able to change OBS scenes. I think Jonah might be able to see right here if I hit this button. It's on main cam. If I hit this button, it goes to our desktop cam. So again, very basic. There's a lot of options to do that for free if you want to save a little bit of money. But Fifine wanted us to showcase this version that you can use as well if you want a physical standalone solution. Now for the microphone, this is the AM8 Pro T mic bundle, and it's a bundle because it comes with this mic arm that has RGB built in. I mean, that's really cool, isn't it? It does have an RGB button, which you can change the RGB, but we're not going to do that because we do have it synced up with their software, the Genie software. The microphone right here is the AM8, which we've reviewed many times over on Toasty DIY and have used in many streaming setups, but it does sound really great when we do the mic test. We can do a mic test when we're live streaming. Has RGB built in. We are currently running running this straight into a power brick just to get the RGB power, because even though it has 48 volt phantom power over the XLR, you do need the USB plugged up for RGB. A little bit of a bummer in my opinion, but again, limitations with the microphone, but it does sound really good. And for that price that you're paying for this whole combo, you're getting some really good value, and you guys will see when we do our live streaming test how great it actually sounds. It wouldn't be a ToastyBros video without the OBSBot Meet 2. Here it is, guys. This little 4K webcam is absolutely awesome. I mean, look how tiny it is. It requires just a USB-C that you can plug into a USB header on your motherboard, and it's 4K. So you get 4K quality, 4K 60 quality. And again, it's this little tiny form factor that you can put pretty much anywhere. It has magnetic support, so you can stick it on things. It's a really awesome webcam for 99 bucks. And I added this little tripod, which I will say this is the cheapest of cheap tripods. You could probably buy this on like AliExpress for a couple dollars, or you can go on Amazon with the suggestion I put down below for $10 and get a better, sturdier option. But I like to have my webcams off the monitor, which with the monitor arm, it's not gonna be as bad, but if you do clamp it to the top of a monitor, it's gonna be a bit shaky while you're gaming. So I normally like to put it off to the side, and I think it looks better that way. Full gaming setup here, gaming and streaming setup for $1,600. It's looking pretty dang good. There's a lot to this thing, and you're getting a lot for your money. Let's dive into live streaming and also show you guys some of the cool software that Fifine has to offer to really put all their products together.
All right, so today we're testing out the same PC as yesterday, the 9060 XT with 9600X, but now we're on a lot of Fifine stuff. We got a full streaming setup. Here, let's see this real quick. Hello? Do I sound like a robot? Did it? Yeah. It kind of hit it, didn't it?
No, definitely did. I just feel like an old elderly man. What about now? Do I sound scary? Do I sound like a bad boy?
Yeah, the sound settings are pretty good. I will say, I've had some other, competitor brands at my house, and the sounds normally don't match with what they say. Like, it'll be like baby, and it'll be like an old man voice. All right, but yeah, so we're Battlefield 6, running really good. We don't actually have the performance metrics up. We were literally doing this yesterday, and we were getting about 120-ish FPS. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, and the monitor's smooth too. This is feeling pretty good. It's my type of monitor too. It's a little curved. We also saved so much money getting that portable monitor. And what did you say we spent? Like 30? $39. Yeah, so 40 bucks. That's pretty crazy for your secondary monitor, because this is like all you need really. I can see my chat down here. I can change scenes, which speaking of that, I mean, I can do like that and like that without having to exit my game. I wouldn't want to exit my game. I mean, how am I going to get my clips? Like that. Yeah, I do like being able to like change. I really like having a mixer a lot. Like, I never thought I'd want one, because what was it? I was running the, the Wave 3, the big name brand that cost way more than this crap, and it didn't sound that good. This actually sounds better already, and I can be a robot, or I can be an old man. I can be anyone I want to be. Yeah, the OBSBot stuff's really cool. We use actually that same camera, right? For our morning live streams. We've been using it now for like a year, and it's an awesome camera. It's got some cool gestures and stuff. We big days. I just actually missed that. That's crazy. We reload. Oh, that wasn't a reload. What the heck? Oh god. Oh god. I can't believe I just Oh! Ah! All right. We hit those. Chuck.
Can you believe that? Oh, that was baby. That's not cool. There's chat, by the way. Hey, I can pretend to be a female. I can be anyone you want me to be.
All right. Let's go ahead and exit out of that.
Oh, whoa. Stay tuned, by the way, guys. Once I'm done with Fortnite, I will show you guys the Genie software through OBS. It is. A little Back to the Future collab. Yeah. I'm here to give you some content, auto-tune style. We're also lagging in as we load into Fortnite, so give it a sec. And yes, this mic arm does have RGB. This whole combo is like $63, which is pretty cool. Also, by the way, I am getting a little FPS drop right now because I think I have an unlocked frame rate. That's probably part of the problem. I'm using display capture. This mouse, by the way, just talking about some of the peripherals. I love this mouse for price, like $15. Why are these people companies including this with all their PCs? I mean, come on now. Is it B75 or the F75 Pro? Yep. This is one of the Reaper switches. I don't know, something about the hit marker sounds are different. The guns are different. Yeah, right now we're getting about 280 to 290 FPS. Plenty for our monitor. Defiant Gerbil. Part of me feels like that's not a real gamer. Very strange battle bus. That was a very strange battle bus, but you know what? I like something different. Yeah, keyboard's really nice. Microphone, you guys are hearing it. Y'all can tell me if it sounds really nice on stream and watching on the video. I love the secondary monitor. I don't know. I have this weird obsession with portable monitors. Like, in terms of like these setups, they're just so cheap and they do exactly what you want them to. All right, yeah, the underneath the other monitor vibe, just quick look. Am I playing? I was like, I saw a building there. God, I've not played build in 50 years. Yeah, this is, I think it's in 0 build. I think because normal non-builds, they don't give that to you because they kind of just think you're gonna defend yourself that way. All right, guys, I'm gonna find one more kill, then we'll swap to something else. I didn't even get to really play the Simpsons mode. I mean, I did a couple times, but. Can I build? Oh. Oh. No! Fortnite. Pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Now, before we go to another game, I'm going to show you guys some of the software stuff that you can use with Fifine. I think it's called Genie. Let's go take a look at that. I've been calling it Genie throughout the whole video, so I hope it's actually called Genie. All right, so here is good old Genie, which is one they're actually pretty excited about because it should be the universal software at some point. So it has main mixer control right here, which I think this gives you a software mixer, which is similar to what other companies are doing now, where they give you some sort of software control. So you really don't need a standalone mixer if you're looking to just have independent audio channels. It kind of alleviates the whole thing for what was that? The banana mixer. What was that thing that I used to use? Where basically you're just trying to create virtual audio channels. So you could say have a chat while you're listening to in game, where you want to mute like the person in Discord you're talking to in OBS. It's a separate audio channel from your gameplay audio, things like that. This gives you an individual control for that, and you can kind of mix things as you go. Light control, which is very simple, it literally just gives you light control for everything. Right now we have it set to this like RGB rotation mode. How you do it, by the way, I learned this, is you have to drag in the product that you have. As you see, these are all the products that popped up: the SC8 mixer, the H13, and the BM38, which I think the BM38 is the mic arm. So you have all these, you kind of place them on the grid here, and you can change the different lighting effects. Here's another one. You can kind of see what's happening. Let me go full cam here. Look at that. There's that one. This one is insane. So it's a cool way to customize your setup here. You also have EQ controls for the mixer and the, let's see, there's the mixer EQ setting. There is an EQ button, so I'm assuming you would press this and it would sync up with the EQ settings right there for output. So you can optimize the EQ of the microphone. I'm not gonna mess with that because I'm gonna break something. Hardware configurations, you also have these options here, which has the, let's see, different default EQ mode. You can change the EQ mode here. For the H13 headset, you can turn off the light switch, turn on noise reduction, turn on the 7.1 channel, real-time monitoring of what you're hearing, I guess, with your microphone. So you have that. But basically, I think their goal is to make this the universal software where they put everything into it, which is pretty cool. But for the actual stream controller, there is a program that looks very similar to others on the market. I will say it doesn't have pre-built-in OBS support. You have to use a WebSocket plugin to get it to work, but it's really simple. You basically add the scene in. It gives you the option to link up with your OBS, which you can. McAllister, you'll have to blur this, but I will go ahead and show you guys. You go up to Tools, WebSocket Server, and then in here, make sure WebSocket Server is checked, and then you go to Show Connection Options, and it will give you a password to then go back and add to this. So very simple. So then you're able to add different scenes. If you scroll down through here, you also get operation flow stuff, so you can make different operations. When something happens, something happens. You have audio players, so you can mute audio. You can open up different websites, hotkeys. You can really load this thing up. One that I really like, and I wonder if you could probably make it yourself on here, is one that we use on another competitor, is just an audio device switcher. Really sick. Love that. Very useful. You have Discord commands as well, so you can meet within Discord. This has Streamlabs support already, so you can do Streamlabs OBS. But really cool software. A lot of different stuff you can do with this Fifine entire streaming ecosystem, and it's all budget-friendly hardware. So, Jackson, you want to play Call of Duty or Arc Raiders? Which one do you want?
We'll do Arc Raiders, just so it's different than Battlefield.
We'll do Arc Raiders, baby.
Let me make sure I have ammo here. All right, so we're playing Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders. All right, so last time we played, we ended up being really nice. We became friends with everyone. The first person I see, I'm going to shoot at them. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what's... So this game has a built-in voice changer.
Yes, it's like an AI voice changer.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like for the people who spend all the money on, like, this cool stuff, like, no, don't give them that for free. Okay, I think I hear something going on this way. I'm lucky that cactus didn't just poke me. Oh, yeah, someone's shooting this guy right here. Someone just shooting really close, but I can't really tell Let me double check there's no one not still on this bridge. Man, this guy's like, he must be moving this way because every time I'm like close to him, he gets a little bit further. I feel like this is a mistake. I feel like this is a big mistake. Oh my God, are they shooting bombs at me? Oh! Okay, okay, okay. Can I even kill these things, or are these like way more powerful than I thought they were? Oh. Oh my God. Holy crap, was that a person? Dude, look at them all. They're freaking circling me. I don't know, I don't see a person, but, well, on graders. At least our loadout was mostly free. So, that is what it is. But, alright, here we go. Let me use my cool button. Ming. Alright, chat. Well, that was a good little stream. Pretty successful. I'm liking all this Fifine stuff. Worked really well. Actually, no problems. The setup was a little bit complicated because we didn't read instructions at first, but...
We don't read instructions normally.
No. But alright, cool. Well, let's go ahead and end this stream and wrap this video up.
So that was a fun little streaming session. We actually played some Arc Raiders, we played some Fortnite, we played some Battlefield. It seems like this PC, which based on our streaming test, can run pretty much anything at 1080p, which this monitor ended up being great for. And the Fifine stuff made this a great streaming setup. And the fact that we didn't have to spend like thousands, because let's be real, go with some of those name brands, you're gonna spend a lot of money. And I honestly think you get most of the exact same features with the Fifine products.
We always tell people, if you're getting into live streaming, don't spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, because you gotta make sure you're gonna stick with the hobby first, and this is all you really need to get started with live streaming and potentially make a career out of it. So if you guys want to get into live streaming and build this setup yourself, use those links down below. And big thanks again to Fifine for sponsoring this gaming setup / streaming setup / whatever setup you want to use it for, and let us know what you think down below.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
You know what's cooler than 6.7? 3% off at PCBros.tech.
Sure. It is cooler. Use code ToastyBros. Save 3% on your purchase of a PC at PC Bros. This one will be here. The setup will be up front. Go say hi to Jake. He might rizz you up. Be careful. See you guys later. Goodbye.